everybody. How are y'all doing? It's been a minute since I came on and did a video. I'm trying to get better, but got a lot of things going on. I'm going to talk about them because I'm going to talk about why I got all these things going on based on the title of this video. So, I wanted to, I titled this video, what did I say? How I'm surviving now that my only child has went off to college. I get a lot of questions all the time from people. Well, first of all, let me just tell you, I had an offer years ago to be on a reality show about extreme parenting. Now, I said my only child because I have one biological child. I was a foster parent and then an adoptive parent of two young ladies when I was like 28, 29 years old. Both of those young girls are women now who are 31 and 33 years old. So till now they're still my children. But I only had one biological child. So that is why who went off. Well, my oldest daughter did go off to college too. But I went back from a period where I had two of them, then I had three of them, and then they became adults, got out, went on, with their lives, and then it was just me and my biological daughter, who is now, she went off to college. She, started school, when I say a little early, being a child of a single mom. Of course, she started daycare and things like that earlier, which means that she, started learning in a school-based type of situation earlier than maybe some other kids. She started at daycare at 11 months old. So in that meant she learned a lot and did a lot. And by the time she was like 4 years old, she had already done a pre-K program like twice. So she ended up, getting a year ahead of herself. And so now when she's went off to college, she just made 17. So anyway, I get all of these people asking me, how am I doing? Because everybody knows that what can I say? When I decided to have a biological child, then that's when I decided to become an entrepreneur. And I did that because I grew up with a mother who had a job and was an entrepreneur, and she really did not have a lot of time. And I was only child to her as well, and she was a single mom. She didn't really have a lot of time to be there to support a lot of things that I was doing. I was a very outgoing, just like I am now, very outgoing. I'm blessed to have a lot of talents. And I was athletic. I love sports. And, so it was just a lot of things I was doing. My mother did not get the opportunity to really see a lot of it just because she was working, trying to keep me in a parochial school and, just keep the roof over our head as much as she could, keep the lights on and things like that. So I promised myself that when I decided to have a child, I wanted to be in a position to where my story wasn't going to be my child's story. Now, I always talk about this, like how I didn't plan to be a single parent, but I'll be honest, being raised by a single parent, I wanted to have a child's father that would be present and be active in my daughter's life. But I never really planned like to say, oh, I'm going to be in the house with my child's father and, we're going to be husband and wife and we're going to raise this child together. I'm going to be honest, based on my life experiences, that was not at all like what I was thinking about or what my plan was. But I did want her to have an active father who was helping to support her. So anyway, I just, what's going on around me? But anyway, I did. So that being the case, and I actually started teaching and coaching high school when I was like 23 years old. And if any of my students or former students see this video, they'll know, like, I was very, very committed. I loved my job. I loved being influential. So I gave 100% of myself to my students and to my athletes. So that was another thing. I knew there was no way possible that I would be able to be the type of parent that I needed to be for my own, baby and child, that and still be the type of coach and teacher that I was to my athletes and have enough time. And I just never wanted me how I am. I don't want to do nothing halfway or anything. So that's when I decided to walk away. And I ended up having my first biological child 2 years later. Well, I everything that I wanted, that's what I was. I stayed on top of her. I made sure, she, did well in school. Some people say, I was extreme. Um, she may say that or whatever too, but like I always tell her, she'll thank me later. She graduated. She with honors. She graduated with a, a cosmetology license. She went to college. Tuition is fully and everything is paid for. She plays varsity sports. She played sports from sixth grade through graduation. Um, she's maintained her being a nice and respectable young lady all the way through. And a big part of that is because I did not, I missed a couple games at, each year because, of course, as you all know, I'm an accountant and there's a period where I work out of town. But there has generally not been anything that my daughter has done or does. She danced, she can sing. A lot of talents and gifts I have, she has the same ones. Now, she's not as outgoing as I am, but she does have those same talents. But it's not nothing that she's done that I have not been there every step of the way. And so anybody that knows us knows that. They know, dance practice. Her dance teacher, now she ever sees this, she go laugh. I was at every dance practice, learning the dances, making sure that when it came time for the recital, she was going to know her dances, especially if I invested my money, so much so they give me the nickname Joe Jackson Jr. or Miss Joe Jackson. So how I kind of want to get that backstory because, that's why I titled this video this, and that's why I think it's something that I should have put on my YouTube channel, because I'm sure I'm not the only parent, even if it's a parent in a two-parent household, if it's a single parent household, where they have been very, very active in their child or in their children's life. We're going to say child because this video is just based on the fact of being an empty nester. Now, of course, there are people with multiple children who get to a point and they're empty nesters, as well. So you all will probably be able to, relate to me on this. So I always get this question: how you doing? How are you surviving? And I'm like, absolutely fine. Like, when you hear all of the things that I just said that this child was doing, and she had one parent, and I was there like I said I was, you could believe I'm tired. And not only that, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a bunch of, goals and aspirations, things that I, want to do that I've always still pushed forward while parenting. But of course, some of the things that would take me maybe out of town or away from home more than I needed to be, those things, got put on the back burner because I'm parenting. I have, my goal is to speak on stages across the country, across the world, and be able to, if somebody, decides last minute or, needs to fill a space for a guest or something like that, for a speaker or someone to share their, motivational life story and things like that. I want to be, they may want to call me and I may have to get on a plane tomorrow. You couldn't do that when were raising your child by them yourself at home. Um, it's just a lot of things that I still have yet to, accomplish that I am working on and things that I am doing. But a big part of what I want to do is will take me around the world, because I have so much, just the way that I view life, the things that I've been through, the adversities that I've overcome, and my view on them and how I've still viewed life. I know it's my purpose to share that, because I know I can inspire someone else who has grew up in these same situations, who come from the same situations, if not worse, and who may not have that little fire that they need in them to just naturally to realize that they can push forward and achieve any and everything that they desire. And so if I can light that flame, that is something that I, want to do, and share that gift that God has given me. That is something that I want to do. So how do I feel? How I'm surviving now? I'm going to keep it real. I'm a control freak. And so even though my daughter is away at college, I still, all of her emails and everything with school and everything, I still see, still comes to me. So am I not involved? I ain't even tell y'all that lie, say no. Am I still, not every day, but if it is something that is important, and just because I know my daughter, because like I said, she's still 17, so some of the things, that little switch that turns on when kids do become 18, that kind of makes them a little bit more mature. And I mean, she's responsible, she's independent, but the one thing that she did get, from her dad is a little airiness. And so some things she just kind of be like, oh, so, and I know that, and I don't want her to miss out on an opportunity or something because she forgot to check her email today, or she thinking, oh, I don't really, I ain't been getting emails that's about nothing. So just not understanding yet that as a college student and having a school email, it is imperative that you check your emails every day. Because of course, she coming from high school. We as adults, we know, hey, especially if you're in business, you need to check your emails. So, and I don't know if she noticing it all the time or not, but I'm gonna be honest. I ain't giving a chance to see if she don't. I make sure that if it's something that's important, I send it to her in a text, or I tell her, hey, make sure you check your email. I ain't gonna lie and say that things that I know that are important, that I'm not still, messaging, texting. It's funny because one of her friends, mom that she's met since she's been there, we are kind of got the same little story, and we're the same sign. And I don't really talk about this with a lot of people, but like her, and in some instances, she's probably a little more over and more overbearing in areas that I may not be, and then I know in some areas I'm more of man. But see, her daughter is a little bit more business wise responsible than my daughter is. So those areas, she doesn't have to be as overbearing, but I'm smiling, laughing, because she's probably the only person that I share a lot of what I still do with, because I know that, people would be saying, look, you're going to have to let her grow up. You're going to have to, and I understand that I'm going to have to let her grow up. But just even like I said, her friend's mom, same thing, her daughter, same kind of thing. She's only 17. She hasn't turned 18, won't turn 18 for a few months either. And for me, I just, hey, I'm just my child. I'm going to do what I deem necessary. And of course, everybody is not going to agree. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't care, because they can do different with their children. So, but I'm sharing this video because there are going to be some people that, may have a, negative outlook on what I'm saying. But if you know what I say with videos, I don't mind any comments. I don't mind comments that don't agree with what I'm doing. I just want you to come from a constructive, positive, and constructive way if it's some type of criticism or negativity as well. So, I still do that. I haven't dated because, once she got a certain age, and just based on, if you see videos around, I'm not ashamed, because that's a part of what I speak about. I am a survivor and a champion of childhood molestation. So that, knowing that and knowing my history, was I going to bring in a new man that I didn't know in on my 12, 13-year-old daughter? No, that wasn't what I was going to do. And deciding to become a parent and being a parent, that was a sacrifice that I was going to, that I'm going to take or make, because I chose to be a mom. So that is something, else now. So it's kind of like, everybody's like, so how are you dating? They tell people telling me to go on online dating and go this and go do that. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I just celebrated my 49th birthday on September the 15th. I'm old school, which, if you remember, if you over the age of 45, you remember like chat lines and all that stuff. So to me, that's what online dating is. Now, people come up with their rationale about, hey, people, your age or that's busy like you are, or whatever. Now they're really not going out to clubs. They're really not going. So that's what online dating is used for, with them. Trying to see. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. That's what it's used for with them, and I get it. And I do go on randomly and kind of look and see, but I'm gonna just be honest. I don't even be taking it seriously. I don't know. The more power to y'all who do the online dating. Not saying I may not ever meet, but just my mindset. And I'll keep it real too. I don't even know if I'm really ready to be bothered. I'm one of those people that just believe that when I come to somebody else, or go to, start and meet and possibly start a relationship with somebody, I want to be comfortable with where I'm at individually. And that's not, my life has to be perfect. But, when I coach people, I that's what I talk about. Like, how are you coming in a situation, you're complaining about your relationship or something not right, and you want a relationship to be whole, but you're not whole. So how I'm going to tell somebody that, and then I am not, there's so many other things that I still feel that I want to accomplish in life. And I'm going to always be striving. I say this all the time. So it's not that I got to wait till I'm not striving anymore to get in a relationship or meet somebody. What I'm saying is I have to be satisfied with the place that I'm in before I feel like I'm going to even be open and be who I need to be, or who somebody could even want to get in a relationship with, right? Now that my daughter gone, and I can really give the time to the things that I want to do, and a lot of them are, does take me out of town. A lot of it takes me, like now, doing my YouTube videos and being up late at night, and just different things. And somebody may not understand that, but this is how hard I have to go right now to get myself to the place that I want to be. So, you got all these things. You got all these things that people, talk about or say that may be an issue. Excuse me, y'all. You know me, I'm always having a little sip, so excuse me. I'm gonna sit it right here. Um, so is that but how do I feel? How am I surviving? Bang. Parenting, special single parenting, is hard. When you are, and I'm not saying nothing to nobody else, put nobody else down. What I felt I received as a parent, which were a bunch of great things from my mother: the importance of education, the importance of being strong, the importance of being self-sufficient. I wanted to have all those things in my parenting, and then all the things that I didn't get from my mother, which was, the ability to have the support and to have a person who was, a little bit compassionate and affection, things like that. All of those things like that I had and that I didn't have, I wanted to try to be, and I was striving to be and do. And In doing that for 17 years alone, ups and downs, if you got daughters, you know exactly what I mean, especially when it gets time where they're emotionally all over the place and you still trying to stay on top of things and not give up and keep parenting and doing what God blessed you with that child to do. It is tiring. And so when I dropped her off at school, I I guess I'm recognizing that, hey, now when I yell, hello, hello, you hear the echo? Nobody is here. But at the same time, guess what I ain't got to do, y'all? I ain't got to say, where my this? Did you touch my that? Why you leave this in the floor? Why did you clean up your room? Wash the dish? All that other stuff that I got to constantly do, and then that you have to constantly do when you have children. Most of the time, not everybody. I don't have to do that either. So that is tiring as well because you're tired. Most people, I know for me, I don't like repeating myself. So and some things with my daughter, I had to repeat myself probably for the past 10 years saying the same thing. Now, I don't understand that because I did not like to get fussed at for the same things over and over, but she's not me. So, um, you know, I'm fine. I'm actually like okay with not having to, do that stuff. I miss her because she's been my ride or die. That was my movie partner. That was my go to the mall. That was whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. I'd take her in tow since she was born. And if I couldn't do it because she couldn't go, I didn't go. But I had my daughter when I was 31 years old. So I had done a lot of things and lived my life, the things that I wanted to do prior to 30. So it didn't seem like a sacrifice if I could not, take my daughter or whatever with me. So yes, that part, do I miss? Yeah. Um, we still talk probably. And I know the older she gets and when she go back a sophomore year and junior year, the days will spread out further. But, right now when she's having issues or when things ain't going, she reaches out to me. She still calls me, texts me when she's having a hard time or whatever. But we probably talk at least every 3 days. Now, if we go 3 days and don't talk, and we talk that third day, we're probably going to talk day 3, 4, and 5. Um, but it's usually about business. I hate to say it, it's usually about business. It's usually about, as she needs something or wants something or that. She can't answer that phone when I call her if it's important, but she sure can text and say, can I get $5, $10 because she needs something to eat or she trying to go to a party or she want to do this and that. So yeah, parents who out there who just sent your kid, how does that make y'all feel? Like, now I just called you. Or I text you, you act like you were so busy you couldn't see it or you couldn't respond, but you sure can find that phone to text when you want $5 or $10. Do y'all send the money? Or do y'all say, no, you couldn't answer me when I wanted you? I be saying that, y'all, but I'd still go ahead and try to send it if I can. And when she be texting too many days in a row, I tell her, like, ain't you heard the term broke college student? That's that term for a reason. You're not going to be living like, especially like I told y'all, she went to school with a cosmetology license. I'm not understanding why she ain't doing an ounce of hair. She need to use that trade. That was the whole point because her mama was show doing it because y'all know I'm a cosmetologist as well. And in college is where I started making a few dollars. She ain't get all that hustle that I got. But I'm sure it's because she didn't have to hustle like I did young. My mama didn't have it. So if I wanted it, I had to earn it. Go work, go cut some grass, go do some hair, go sell some ice cream, go make some deliveries, do whatever I had to do. And I know them kind of deliveries, y'all. At Bo Nally delivering, ordering food, okay, just in case. Just in case, y'all was thinking something else crazy because I said I grew up in the hood. But, I had to, she didn't have to do that. She had to, basically what I told her, do what you're supposed to do in school, do well in your sports, and things like that. And I will make sure that you get, rewarded. So she worked, she did internships or whatever with me through my company, because I don't believe in sending, giving my labor to, another place or another business to help build their family's empire. People have said that to me, like, well, she needs to know what it feels like to work for someone else. Let her go work for McDonald's. Let her go. And my whole logic, and you tell me if you agree with this too, but as a business owner, as a person who has ran her own business and company or whatever for 20 years now, my whole logic is, this is my labor. I got to still feed her or whatever anyway. Why would I let her go and build somebody else's empire and give her labor to them? They pay her pennies, and then I gotta pay somebody else to still do the work that she could do, and then I still got to provide for her as her mother as well. That don't make no sense to me. And most successful people who own companies, you see their children working or doing some kind of job in that company, not only because of that reason, but because at some point that company, it should be theirs, and they need to know how to run it, and they need to have work for it. So she's still doing that. And but when it's all said and done, I'm fine, y'all. I pray daily for my daughter. I pray that everything I taught her, she is utilizing and remembering. I do know, because I went off to college myself. There will be some things that she will probably do and tell me later in her 20s that I will be like, oh my God. But I just pray, just like myself, they are not no things that will cause her to mess up, take away her dreams and her goals of graduating college in the next no more than 5 years, without no children, going into a good, she's majoring in chemical engineering, working with a good company, figuring out a way how to make sure she still has her own business or something while working for someone else, if that's what it takes to learn. And then, eventually, I'm sure have somebody and build a family and things like that. I pray that, she applies, she learns, she listens to my experiences, but I also know, hey, every children have to go down their own path. And make their own path, and sometimes people have to learn the hard way. Will it hurt me if anything, happens opposite of what I planned for her life? Of course. Y'all heard me say I was a Joe Jackson and a control freak. So of course. But when you love your children, sometimes you got to give them tough love, but you're going to still love them, and you still should support them, unless they just are doing things that are just morally and ethically not right, and you can't support it. Will you love them? Yes. But will you support them in madness? Probably not. I know I'm not. So I just kind of wanted to make a video on that. I wanted to make sure I put something out. Want to, hopefully somebody watching may need to hear what my thought process is, and and I would love to hear your comments if you're anybody who is in the same scenario or have found yourself in the same scenario, and especially when it comes to the dating thing. Like, did you all, because I have another girlfriend, where her daughter's no longer here, and she's just been intense on the dating, and looking to find, but she's not in this moment, trying to build a business, or is not, going in the direction that I'm going in for, just what I'm doing. So she got time to really focus on trying to find somebody. I just don't have the time. And relationships take time, and commitment, just like anything else that you're trying to water to grow. So just like I'm trying to water this business and the businesses and my coaching and my speaking and my academy, because I have an online school where a lot of my programs that I do private one-on-one coaching and big group workshops, where those courses will be available in my online academy. I got to build those courses. I have a course that's coming. It is Becoming a Tax Professional 101. It's an online course. It's called Becoming a Tax Professional because it's going to give knowledge in the tax industry, tax laws, my experience of being in the industry for over 25 years. It will also go through a portion of learning how to input information in professional software, and then it gives you we're offering another third-party course that will allow the graduates of my course to receive an IRS record of completion as an annual filing season preparer. That course starts and is accessible starting October 1st. So I have to get all that done and completed. I just ain't got time right now to be catering to no man's ego, because if y'all know, men, which is they reason. I have a lot of guy friends and play brothers, and of course they reason for why they cheat and why they, because they either they woman didn't give them something, or they didn't give them enough time, or they wasn't, they always got excuses. That still ain't no reason, but I definitely, if I know I ain't got the time to give like that to cater to somebody's ego, or to be what they looking for, to feel wanted and or whatever, I just feel like, why do them an injustice and let them meet this greatness of who I am? And then I know I don't have really a lot of time to spend with them. Now, people tell me, hey, I just need to meet somebody that's kind of like me, that's got stuff going on, that, they don't have a whole lot of time either. And so we kind of, I won't, they women usually be bugging them because they like, you don't have no time for me. Well, then if we both in the same boat, we'll be happy to find a little time that we had together. We'll appreciate it. And, it'll probably be a better relationship. I don't know what y'all think. I'm My opinion right now, I just don't think. But then, of course, like I just said, I'm 49. I'm like, dang, I ain't never been married. Like, girl, how long do you think you getting? I feel like my black ain't cracked, and I still look young. But the reality of it is, I am 49. So it's like, that's another reason why people push and rush, because they like, oh, I'm getting older, and then they sometimes settle. And, things like that. That's something I'm not going to do. So, y'all let me know what you think. When you watch, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I have my talk show, which will be airing the first real episode this coming November. So definitely go and subscribe to my channel. That is the weekly wind down with Monique J. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know when we do our season 3 premiere. And what else? So y'all tell me what you think. So y'all think, am I okay? Based on what I told y'all think I'm okay with being an empty nester, or I am not totally empty nester, because I be still trying to mind her business and make sure and talking to her every few days or whatever. This nest still empty, and I ain't got to be fussing at nobody. So that part I like. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. Remember, keep it positive, even though it may not be in agreement with what I'm saying. Try to keep it positive. Share my video, and give me a like sign if you like what I'm talking about. If you don't like, just don't hit nothing. How about that? Remember, your mom said ain't got nothing good to say. Don't say it at all. All right, thanks again. This has been your girl, Monique J. Thanks for watching and tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. Be sure to tell me what you think about the video and my channel. Have a good one. God bless.